So tonight on Raw, they promoted a 6-pack challenge, and the winner will face Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell. It contained Becky Lynch, Asuka, Doudrop, Nikki ASH, Sasha Banks, and Naomi. And some people may be thinking, the women's tag team champions? Yes, they were part of the 6-pack challenge. Well, midway through Raw, they walked out. Sasha Banks and Naomi, because Naomi walked out with her too, walked out of Raw. And at first, and then they had to change on the fly, and then the main event happened to be Becky Lynch taking on Asuka. Now I watched this. Corey Graves did announced it on Raw, so the viewers can know that they left. They walked out. He got an earful. I know he got the earful from Vince. They say that they left, and then now this is going to be the new main event. So everybody was just in like total shock of what the fuck was going on. And I said, well, let me wait till more details to see what stuff is going on. And little details that came out. So Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful Select had this post from WWE. And it reads like this. When Sasha Banks and Naomi arrived at the arena this afternoon, they were informed of their participation in the main event of tonight's Monday Night Raw. During the broadcast, they walked into WWE head of talent relations John Laurinaitis' office with their suitcase in hand, placed the tag team championship belts on his desk, and walked out. They claimed they weren't respected enough as tag team champions, and even though they had 8 hours to rehearse and construct their match, they claimed they were uncomfortable in the ring with two of their opponents, even though they had matches with those individuals in the past with no consequences. Monday Night Raw is a scripted live TV show whose characters are expected to perform the requirements of their contract. We regret we were unable to deliver as advertised tonight's main event. That was a statement that was put out there. The whole WWE PR stuff like that. And then more news is coming out as updated of what the original plan was supposed to be. Did anybody hear what the original plan was supposed to be?
No, I only heard that they left.
Okay, so according to a source of what the plan finish was supposed to be, Naomi was supposed to win this match. And pin Sasha. And then go on to face Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell. We already know that they probably... So what it's looking like was they... At the expense of the tag team championships, they was going to basically kind of almost break this up already and have Naomi be a filler. This is basically a filler till we get to these stadium shows.
I mean, that makes sense because I had heard murmurs of her supposedly joining the Bloodline. I want to say it might have been Jimmy who said that. I don't know.
Whoa.
But, yeah.
So, they weren't having that. And according to Sasha, they went to Vince and they talked to Creator and they tried to get this thing changed. He wasn't budging on it. And then so they went to John Laurinaitis, dropped off the belts, and they walked out. So everybody that has an asshole has an opinion about this, obviously. Yeah. What's been going on, and I've been making sure I've been doing my research before I gave myself, of where I'm siding on with this. And I'm gonna be, I'll start it off. I'm siding with Sasha and Naomi.
Okay.
I'm siding with Sasha. I'm y'all call me the bad guy. Y'all can call whatever the fuck you want to. But you know what? Vince had this shit coming. I don't know where y'all stand, but before I go any deeper, because I like to know where y'all stand.
I'm on Sasha side.
I couldn't hear the mic broke up. Say it again.
Sasha.
I guess you said Sasha.
Can you hear me?
No, it's like Your mic is kind of breaking up.
Well, no.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, now I'm on Sasha's.
Yeah. How about you, Lacey?
I'm with them. Sasha and Naomi. I get it, like being frustrated, and because they probably knew, like you said, that she was just gonna be a filler. It was gonna be a throwaway. For what? Because then after that happens, y'all break them up, and they obviously drop the titles and whatnot. Then what for Naomi? Because you'll probably maybe find somewhere else to put Sasha, but what happens to her after that?
I agree with that too. And for those out there who want to make it seem like Sasha's a baby or Sasha's a brat, stuff like that. And here's the thing, because Toni Storm walked out, didn't even go to the office. She walked out and literally walked into AEW. That's what she did.
Yeah.
Same clothes, same everything. She still had a little cake left in her hair. And she went out there and went to the Owen Hart tournament. And she walked out. We know about the Stone Cold thing walking out because, look, I don't understand why you're booking the tag team champions this way. Now, obviously, Vince don't give a damn about the belts. Them belts was here. Shut up because y'all been asking for them. Yeah. That's what those tag team championship belts are for. Well, you know what? Sasha takes that stuff very seriously. And Sasha likes to be, when it comes to her character and her role model, stuff like that, I've seen her, little documentary on E! So that's stuff that she takes very seriously. And what you about to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that it's not a case of, she's being a spoiled brat or whatever. I think in this case, she's using the pool that she does have to try and make some kind of, change. Mm-hmm. Because, if this was the Iconics who said that, nobody would give a damn. I mean,
I said they had with Toni Storm. They let her keep walking.
Exactly. No offense to them, but she knows, the women's division is in trouble.
It's been in trouble for a while, yeah.
So, and nobody takes it seriously. So maybe if I, as one of the bigger names, does something extreme like this, then maybe someone will listen.
Yeah, especially since how every time she gets a partner that always have to feud and fight right when they get the titles or whatever, she probably was like, I'm sick of that. I just want to be a team. Why we can't just be a regular team?
I agree. They did the same thing with her and Bayley. And then they try to do the same thing with her and Naomi. And look,
they kind of did it with her and Bianca too. Even though we knew where that was going.
Yeah, you knew that I was that was going to hit like WrestleMania. But all this stuff when it comes to being these women's tag team champions or headlining WrestleMania with Bianca Belair and all the stuff that Sasha has done in her career, she is very proud of these moments. And she wants to make these moments, better for other women coming up behind her. Mm-hmm. Naomi and Sasha Banks, now, I don't know if you followed them on social media or not, but they have been traveling all over the world, with the European tour and going different places. And the amount of fans that they just have as them as a unit is incredible. They've been taking pictures with little girls, and twins, little black girls, stuff like that. And they look at them like superheroes. So there's something there. There's something obviously there. And obviously Naomi and Sasha have a history also. Just like Sasha and Bayley had a history. Naomi and Sasha have a history. And it can be frustrating because all this stuff plans always fucking change when Vince want to make some kind of money, because Sasha was originally supposed to be in the main event at WrestleMania with Charlotte. They promoted that. They was actually going in that direction until they said, wait, Ronda coming? Ronda's back. Ronda wins. So that they put Sasha in the tag team. So fine. It's kind of like what back what Steve Austin did back in WCW. Like, okay, you gonna put me in a tag team? Well, watch, we're gonna make this. We're gonna do this shit. We're gonna make it work, and we'll get ourselves over. So she got with Naomi. Is getting themselves over, but then she wants to let them be a legit team. Let them go have a run. Let them go be dominant. Let them go do anything like that. But once again, there's no tag division.
No, they
in WWE for the women.
Fake weddings.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, thank you for bringing that up. There's no tag division there. You just throwing women together to have a random tag team match with there's no teams. There's the teams that we had, they fired.
I just think right now everything's kind of in disarray. Like it's clear that they don't necessarily have a whole lot of value in the division as a whole. It's just like the tag team titles, like you said, they were a here hush up title. But then it's just like the waste. Everything is so just fly by the seat of your pants kind of deal. Like Lacey Evans. What the hell's going on with Lacey Evans?
I'm surprised they didn't put her on TV yet. Seriously, I'm surprised they didn't put her on TV yet.
They did.
They did.
I'm talking about in a match?
No.
Oh, no.
I don't know what the point
it's been like 5 or 6 weeks.
You know they got to do 10 or 20 weeks of build up first.
But it's been the first 3 weeks of storytelling. I was with it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was with it. I was with the story. I was with the turning her baby face and going by that whole thing. Then it just kept going and going and going, and it got worse and worse and worse. It's like, they did too much.
Yeah. And
then they said, well, you know what? Screw you. You're not going to be on SmackDown. We're going to put you on Raw, and we're going to put you back to being a heel. What? That got to be frustrating.
I don't know if, in this case, it could have just been like I saw some folks saying they thought it was just there. She was there for a cheap pop today because of where they were today.
Where were they at today?
I believe they were in Norfolk,
Virginia. Okay, yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's a military town.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just feels like everything is all over the place with the women, and maybe she felt like, or they felt like, it's a good time to try and be like, okay, so what are we doing here? Are y'all going to take us serious? Are y'all really going to like give the division a chance to thrive? Because it doesn't seem like it. And also, it's like, don't undermine Bianca's run. The first time y'all had her with the belt, it was just like, whatever. And then now it's like, all right, well, y'all gave it back to her. Are we going to do something real with it or whatever?
But I agree with you. But it seems like no matter what way they're going, even no matter who won the 6-pack challenge, they're going to get beat by Bianca and Hell in a Cell. So the whole thing is a filler in the first place anyway.
Yeah.
But just to blatantly take your tag team champions
and toss them in there
and put them in this matchup when you just had a match tonight with Alexa Bliss and Sonya Deville. Why?
Here's another one. Well, Alexa Bliss, y'all did all of that trying to like break down any association she had.
She still come out with a doll.
Yeah, and then she just came back out the same. I don't know.
Out of the women y'all have, and which obviously y'all don't care about show fucking hopping. When y'all have Lacey Evans, when y'all have Carmella, when y'all have Zelina Vega, when you have Rhea Ripley, when you have Sonya Deville, when you have Alexa Bliss, when you have why are y'all, even Shayna, even Natalya, even Tamina, like all these women I just named, you could not think one time to put women that are not tied to anything in this matchup, but y'all want to stick there and put it in there with your tag team champions. And
honestly, they should do the old SmackDown rule. It seems like they just need all to have them all on one brand because they don't have that many to begin with.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because we got a title unification match coming up on SmackDown for the tag team titles, which is not going to last long. Roman's walking around with 2 belts, who's about to go into Hollywood for a little bit, and they're going to probably break them belts back up. It's like they are booking by the seat of their pants.
I think that right now, it seems like from the murmurs that I've been seeing, there's a tug of war going on with their TV, with the stations they're on.
Uh-huh.
It's a tug of war going on with Fox and USA.
Mm-hmm.
Fox is like, all right, cool, but the ratings, we want your big names, and they like, well, we can't just give you both the big names because we got another show over here we got to book for 3 hours, and USA is in the same boat, so it's just like y'all, you kind of you fucked yourselves over.
I mean, when you asked for, if they asked for
At
big
this
names, how would you say, Prime?
I was gonna say at this point, I don't even think they care no more. They probably like, we're not renewing your contract.
Well,
You're bringing us money.
They're probably going to do that because they bring in, even though the ratings for wrestling on average has been low, it's still high compared to other USA programming.
Makes sense, yeah. I mean, not when you're.
Well,
it's y'all the
their
lead in the
programming is in the
911.
trash.
They can't be bringing in.
Yeah.
They gotta be. They only get what, 1 million.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, right now, yeah, they're only bringing in 1 million, but for that time
And
slot,
you mean tell me no other show on USA brings in 1 million?
no, I'm saying there are other shows bringing 1 million for that time slot for a Monday. That they
and for advertising, I'm sure.
Exactly, yeah. They are is what's making them the money. So
I don't know. It just, but even if they are like, you know, even if it was a case of they're not going to, you know, say they wouldn't want to renew their contract, they're still not going to just let Fox just take all of the viable talent and be like, we want them on SmackDown, and then y'all just left with the scraps. That wouldn't happen.
I agree, but even still, y'all wouldn't, if y'all book stars, take time to understand and book these people and not release 80 people last year, then you could work something out. But it did, and you know what? I don't feel, I don't feel bad for Vince, and I feel bad for Sasha. I feel bad for Naomi because they owe me especially. It's always getting fucked over by something. It's always getting fucked over by something.
I still say they missed the opportunity with them glow belts. I will. That's the hill I'm gonna die on.
I agree with you. They missed the opportunity with the glow belts.
They missed because then she would have got a cut of that merch.
Yeah. I think they missed the opportunity with the glow belts. I think they missed the opportunity with having her win the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. I think there's a couple times. There's a couple opportunities that they missed when if it was going a little hot for Naomi. They never capitalized on it. They never capitalized on it. And when it comes to Sasha Banks, it's like, she's there, she's hot, she's a top name in the company, and then they do something fine with her, and then after that, there's nothing else afterwards. There's something for her to keep doing. So it's like, well, we need the big name for the big show, for the big stuff. We call Sasha Banks, but after that, there's nothing else that we got for y'all. And right now, Sasha is really serious about making her mark and making history. If you're going to go on live TV and talk about how we the first black tag team champions, well, then we're going to go around here, we're going to celebrate it like we are. And I don't want to be just thrown away. It's only been, a month and a half? It's only been you could really get some legs out of this if y'all had shit to do. First of all, the tag team champions were supposed to go from Raw, SmackDown, to NXT, but then NXT got their own tag team champions. That are they still a thing, Prime? Yeah, Toxic Attraction got them. Yeah, Toxic Attraction got them.
They all still got the belts.
Yeah, and that was supposed to.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot all about that. So, and that was what they were supposed to do. So then, if you're going to have them, and they have not tried to build up a division at all. And you're going to get frustrated at the time, because how many times have we said the WWE will call somebody to come, and they would just sit in the back in catering, and they got to do all that traveling, they got to go back home, and they were not being used. That shit will be irking. Y'all can sit there and call Sasha Banks pouting or they being unprofessional. Man, look.
How many times? I don't want to hear that unprofessional shit. There's so many people who
See, somebody said, how is Vince gonna call somebody unprofessional? He's been unprofessional for 40 years.
Exactly.
Like, my man, you out here trying to fire folks for sneezing around you, a natural bodily function. You don't get the hell on. But still, like, how many people have walked off for much less, or just because they just didn't feel like being bothered that day, or because they were allegedly intentionally trying to get themselves fired, Jeff Hardy. How many times have we seen people just be like, oh, well, I'm just not feeling it, or not want to come back because they were just sitting back and catering, whatever. It's just like, at some point, it's going to be, it's like, what am I doing here? Why am I driving, like you said, why am I traveling all this way? Why am I, going through this day in and day out for what? If y'all not really going to give a shit. Or you want us to go out here and give a shit.
Yeah, and
with what? With what motivation?
I agree. And they actually are out here on their own trying to make themselves be superstars.
Mm-hmm.
Like probably on social media, the way they be carrying themselves, the artwork, the
Sasha Banks done been at like some NASCAR shows, baseball shows, throwing out the first pitch.
And they carry themselves like we are. This ain't Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It's not that kind of a tag team where they just got the belts and they just walk around like we the tag. They're going around there and carrying themselves like we are.
To give it some weight.
It's like we are superstars. We sisters. We got a bond and everything. Like the artwork people got drawn. Their new shirt, which I just bought, is dope.
I just had to say, because you said
you better hope they don't do a watch with AJ.
I know. I heard Bugatti. Go ahead.
Nikki ASH made me think of the whole statement they put out. Now listen, tell me you are petty and don't want to take any responsibility for your role in this without telling me. Why would y'all, I'm not as deep in the trenches as y'all, but I cannot recall many times where they have decided to release a statement while the broadcast is still going on, talking about somebody and having the announcer say this person has left the building and given up the belts.
Honestly,
putting a statement.
It's probably.
What happened?
Sorry. No, I was gonna say honestly, that's probably the last time Sasha walked out. Is when they brought it up about Sasha walking out or something. I think Corey did. I think that was Corey Graves last time too.
Like, I feel like we've had okay, back up because I'm tired and I'm kind of discombobulated. We've seen things happen. They change stuff on the fly all the time because Vince decides he don't like something about a show. He'll rewrite a whole show and we will have no idea unless somebody says something.
I don't understand.
What happened?
I don't understand how you can rewrite a whole show like 40 times to be trash. I don't know.
So you do all of that. That happens all the time. But this time you decided that you would not only announce it on the show, but you would put out a statement and then proceed to throw them under the bus by trying to say that they disparaged two of their coworkers who they've worked with before. Yeah, because part of the statement was like, what?
They've worked with Asuka. They worked with Becky Lynch. They just had a tag team match last week with Doudrop and Nikki ASH. They just had. Huh?
Those are the two.
We say Prime?
Those are the two that they.
Your mic just went out. We can't hear you.
Those are the two that Doudrop here.
Nah, I'm not the only one.
We can't hear you at all.
Yeah. You have a bad connection over there on your mic.
What about now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
This Wi-Fi sucks. Okay. No, I was saying that they. I forgot now. Whatever, man. Keep going.
Something about Nikki ASH.
Well, I said they just had a match last week with Doudrop and Nikki ASH.
Yeah, those are the two that they're probably talking about.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
That's who they talking
It's
about.
like even though they probably had a solid match with them, they probably still didn't feel like they probably still didn't feel, you know, I guess good enough to
to be
work with them.
honest with you, I'm going to get a benefit of the doubt that is complete bullshit.
I'm thinking it is too. I feel like it was their way to put more of the onus on them instead of saying that they were unhappy with the because they could have just said they were unhappy with the creative direction and decided to leave. Y'all thought that whole middle part of that statement was just y'all want to be petty, then we gonna be petty too, kind of deal. Because there was no reason to say that.
As they've been working with them before, I don't think they have any quarrel with anybody that was in their ring. They've worked with them all. They were all worked with them before. They've all. It ain't Nia Jackson.
And they don't have they don't have a history of having like a they're not dangerous workers.
Yeah. So I won't get benefit down saying that to me will seem like some extreme BS, to be honest with you. If it comes out that was the case, then I apologize. I have no problem apologizing. But as of right now, to me, it comes out extreme BS. Because right now, they left for a reason that is evident to Vince and the whole WWE universe and to the audience. And you have to make them look unprofessional. Because there are WWE marks out there. Mm-hmm. Not just wrestling marks, WWE marks that no matter WWE can't do nothing wrong.
They do no wrong
at all. So to the point where if they out there, they're being a brat, they're being ungrateful, they're doing this. First of all, when you this ain't your life, you don't even work this life in the first place. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you who are you to be on the soapbox and say some shit like that? But that is it's easier to get the people that are on WWE side to turn against them and with them calling them professional. Let's just call it what it is because they black women.
They black women. They're going to give them this shit. And people just going to take it and be like, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? The black women always get treated like shit. So, they, the benefit of the doubt, they never get. They never. Am I lying?
No, you're not. I'm just saying. Yeah. It's just to me. This seems weird. I will say that I know you from the immediate were like, this is not a word. The way that this has been handled from the WWE side, what could make it seem like this is all part of some kind of grand scheme. But maybe that's their hope to make it seem like it is that way. But they really are genuinely pissed off.
Do you know why it's not a work to anybody out there that think that in order for this to be a work, they would have to care about the tag team titles, and Vince does not care. Now,
Vince has already made it known many times over. He don't care about tag team wrestling. Period.
If it just so happens that something in real life they can make money off of, they'll do it. Yeah. I.e., Matt Hardy and Edge.
I knew he was going.
Okay, if they can take a real life situation and make money off of it, and that whole rivalry through the whole summer of 2005, they will do that. If they can do that, or the whole summer of Punk, if they can make money off it, they'll do that. But that was not the intention.
I'm quite sure.
The Yes Movement and Daniel Bryan and the whole 2014 run was not part of the plan. But they turned course to make some money, to have a moment, and that's what it was. But that was not part of the plan. Damn, I'm supposed to go up against Sheamus. And CM Punk was supposed to go against Triple H for like the third or fourth time at WrestleMania. And it's supposed to be Orton and Batista at WrestleMania. That was their plan. And now when it comes to them, they probably know they got no plan. Why would you have Naomi pin Sasha?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Sasha got no problem putting her sisters over. She has put Bianca over on the highest level at WrestleMania. She put her over on SmackDown. They let her get him. They never gave them their rematch. They gave them a match that ended in disqualification. They never gave Bianca and Sasha their rematch. I have no doubt in my mind Sasha has no problem putting over Naomi when the shit is right. It gotta make sense. When you have, no disrespect to her, but when you have a Nikki Ash in the match, Why is Naomi pinning Sasha? Knowing that's her partner.
I wonder if they expressed that and they spun it into they were uncomfortable working with them or something like that, just to spice it. Because let's be honest, if you have Doudrop and Nikki ASH in the match, there's no reason that anybody in there has to get pinned. Between the two of them, unfortunately, they're on the bottom of the list of everybody in this match. And
like I said, what does that do for anybody? Naomi gets a win to go up against Bianca, which is a clear loss.
And also, so if the case was y'all were, they dropped the belts and just left, what was the point of taking Doudrop and Nikki Ash out of the match anyway? Because it could have just been a fatal four-way.
It could have been that.
Mm-hmm.
You could have added, after women's roster in the back, you could have added 2 more women to there.
Or you could have threw your girl Lacey Evans in there since y'all wanted to put her on Raw so bad.
Y'all could have put Rhea in there. Rhea got a story there. Probably been rooting for Rhea the longest time. She's part of Judgment Day. That's a heel. So then you can get a good match. Rhea and Bianca got history. And it don't have to be a one-off. You can that can be our feud leading into the summer. Rhea and Bianca. But they probably was like, well, Rhea just joined Judgment Day. We probably don't want to give her a loss. That's the thing. Whoever's going up against Bianca at Hell in a Cell is getting the loss. And now who we got up there? Asuka.
But even so, even with that still does not mean that y'all couldn't have left them in the match. Because if they were so easily removed from the match, that means they didn't need to be there in the first place.
You're right. You're right.
It's just my opinion.
No, look, more stuff is gonna come out, but I'm sorry. I'm like, it's about time somebody gotta sit up and do it, and it gotta be a top name to do it because nobody cared when Toni Storm walked out. Nobody. She walked right in the AEW.
Single person gave a damn.
It was like,
how many people have requested their release in the last year, and they was just like, no thanks. You're stuck here with us, Roderick Strong, Mustafa Ali. We don't care how bad you want to leave here. You're not going anywhere. Toni Storm left, and it was just like, oh shit, Toni Storm was still here? Like, they was really
exactly. They got to, and I think Sasha's also tired of stop using black folks for a cheap history pop.
You mean she doesn't want to go to the Civil Rights Museum anymore? Are they going to come out and do something for Black Music Month in June?
They're
going to go to the National... there's a National Museum of African American Music now.
I did not know that.
I know Vince knew that.
Where
do you think they going next month?
They going next month. You know they going next month.
Omar's going to be there, going there, that Nigerian giant going there to learn some civil rights and music. No, I'm just saying, but they are, every time it's a historical black moment, they make sure they put their media out there so everybody can know about that all the time. And then, I think it's exercise. If you're going to promote that and keep doing that, well, then we're going to ride this thing like we that. And this is the only time that the women's tag team, the partners of the tag team, the team has been interesting since Sasha and Bayley. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, I could not wait for them to drop them titles.
I just couldn't wait to see Nia Jax.
Wake up. Yeah. Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley should never have had them in the first place.
No.
The Iconics was fine because it was a team, but
they'd have been the actual team.
Yeah, I'm saying, but they left. Other than that, you can't think of any other women's tag team champ because if they even had any.
They did, didn't they?
They probably did, but who remembers? Who gives a shit? They really don't. That's what I'm saying. With Sasha's part of the team and stuff like that, she going to make them feel important. They do that every time on social media. They try to make them feel important. And Vince is going to be mad because that story overtook all of Raw, which he wasn't missing nothing. Omos
I say, and it only overtook all of Raw because y'all did it. Nobody had to know until after Raw was over that happened.
Well, they had to because it's in the middle of Raw. They had to change it. You know how when Raw first come on, they got the whole NFL Raw
they
robot.
Show you, yeah. And
so you can't go from a six pack and do like Oscar versus.
Y'all could have finessed it. Y'all didn't have to be like, oh well, they left the building and decided screw this, and then put a statement out after that.
Yeah.
Like, come
on.
Now,
honestly, everybody was talking about some AEW. I'm like, I don't know if this is truly the case. I don't know if Sasha wants to wrestle. She don't have to.
She can just go off and do whatever else.
She do Hollywood. Her cousin's one of the biggest hip hop stars ever.
Come on now. I think she can get it on her own.
I think she can.
No, I'm saying she can. I'm just saying, but the fallback plan is real. In other words, she not begging WWE for her services. I
think if she do wrestle though, she's probably gonna go to like some Joshi, some Joshi place.
She'll probably go to New Japan.
If she really wants to wrestle, but other than that, it's the same thing with The Rock. Rock don't need Vince.
Not at all.
At
this point, apparently he's almost caught up to Vince, in net worth, which is wild to me. Like,
you know what else is wild to me? I heard that Rock was supposed to be the genie in Aladdin. I don't know how I feel about that.
No, thank you. I don't know if I need that strong of a genie.
That is still not confirmed. It's still going around being rumored because of the whole Will Smith thing.
Because what?
Yeah. So yeah, let's say just don't know about that yet.
I didn't want to hear him rapping.
But
it's my job. It's my power.
We take what's ours.
Well,
I'm sorry. Oh God.
So they put themselves into a hole just like the whole night. They Omos lost the cage match because he was done because he threw Bobby out. And that was stupid. They still trying to book this Ezekiel storyline with Kevin Owens.
Y'all, can y'all please? We got to drop this, damn it.
Yeah.
They have some good weeks and some weeks are not as good.
Oh, because Kevin Owens is making that thing the best way he can.
Yeah, of course. He's Kevin Owens. He's
doing his job.
He's doing a damn good job at it too.
Yeah.
I would say he's doing a damn good job at it. But Raw sucked, which it does every night. I don't even think probably wasn't even watching Raw tonight, was you?
Not at all.
Not at all. And then when that came out, I was just like, "Is this shit?"
I still didn't watch it.
Say what?
I still didn't put it on.
No, I'm just saying. Well, why'd you put it on? They left. I'm saying, but that was what the biggest story was at the time. And I was just like, you know what? I'm supporting these ladies, and there is time for a change because somebody got to kick Vince in his dick.
I think they all want to.
Dang.
I'm sorry, man. Look, it's sickening to see how what we loved back in the day. I'm not talking about Attitude Era. Like I said, I felt loving wrestling way before the Attitude Era even came. But just the art of it, just all this stuff about it, and them just casually doing what they want because they're making hand over fist in money.
Well, that's what it's all about. Yeah, that's how it happens with lots of things. You get in with the product, it becomes great, then you figure out how to market it and make even more money from it, and then it loses its soul. Unfortunately, that's how most things happen.
So yeah, I want them to be better. Okay. Yeah, I want them to be, but I want them because I don't even know. Like I said, I don't know where this goes. I don't know if they try to crown new women's tag team champions on SmackDown. Like they throw two random women together and call it a day. I don't know if they're going to try to bring Sasha back and fire Naomi. But then once again, see the thing is, because you was talking earlier saying that I don't know if Naomi got a lot of leverage. I think she do, because if you fire Naomi, you know who you pissing off?
The blacks.
Well, that too. But I'm just saying.
But yes, by association.
You just don't care about them.
But fair. But
no, I'm saying you're going to bring. It's more of a PR nightmare. Like,
yeah.
It'll be a thing.
But you're also pissing off the head of the table.
But say, and the real answer to that question is,
Yeah, because you piss off Jimmy. When you piss off Jimmy, and you piss off the cousins, you're pissing off Roman. And Roman
is the cash cow right now.
He's the cash cow. Like I say, Roman on that Brock Lesnar level that he can just tell Vince will suck my dick. And next thing
maybe that was the reason why they felt like this was the time to do it. I mean, Sasha has the name. She's been had the name. But Naomi is in a precarious situation right now where she probably has a little bit more wiggle room than normal.
But here's the thing. I don't know if it's the time right now, because this run that they're on of the tension, this actually making Naomi look like a superstar.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, look what we're doing with it. Look what we've done with this. And then it's kind of the same thing that Nia Jax thought was not going to happen. Like, she thought because she had the familial ties that they was just going to let her do whatever, and it didn't work out for her. But I think that right now is a good time for the both of them to be like, look, what are we doing? And if y'all are not going to like really do anything with this, why are we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if in some time the women's tag team championship belts just disappear completely anyway.
I mean, it's a possibility it could disappear, and it's possible that they can reemerge and that they could just throw them on somebody else. But right now, we about to really see what is the value that they have in these women, because also, I don't think Sasha gonna let Naomi just go down. No. Because if they offer Sasha a job and then they be like, all right, Naomi, you fired. Sasha gonna be like, all right, Naomi, peace. She ain't gonna do that.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they had
I'm
to
pretty
have
sure she's gonna
discussed
be like Brock and Shelton.
But they had to have discussed that. Like, if you really think about it, you think they just did this on a whim? Like, they could have, but I doubt that they just did it without considering the possibility of the repercussions of it.
So, yeah, she's not gonna just let her get railroaded or whatever the case may be. She gonna stand up for her sister. And they gonna be like, well, Sasha gonna come back and Naomi, you gonna eat all the shit. She gonna, if Naomi is to step out with Sasha like that, Sasha riding for her.
She must believe that there's something, like she has something to fall back on.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, but I'm pretty sure that Sasha would, ride for it. Now, if Sasha was partners with, like, I don't know, like Nia Jax or Nikki Ash, I mean, she'd probably do it for her fellow companion, obviously. But I'm saying, but the way her and Naomi are, I'm pretty sure she's gonna rock for her sis. And then Naomi's well liked, like Big E's well liked.
Yeah.
Backstage to the point where it's just like, yo, y'all not gonna do this to Naomi. I'm gonna ride with Naomi. So she got a support system. So I'm just gonna be curious of how that stuff is gonna turn out. But yeah, that was Raw.
Honestly, that was all of Raw. Like,
yeah,
I don't know nor care about anything else that happened on Raw.
Yeah. So that was Raw, and we're gonna see how things are gonna work out in the future, and when we get more news, and then we'll talk about it on next week's podcast when we get more news, obviously. But right now, that's just the main thing. So Raw still sucks. Still gets a thumbs down. What was up?
It does.
It does. Yeah. Shit ain't changed. You know what I'm saying? It didn't change. So you don't have to go waste your time and watch it.